So the next exercise is een luisteroefening. Luisteroefening. So a listening exercise. Kijk naar de plaatjes, pictures. Luister naar de oefening. Wat is de juiste volgorde? En bonus, luister naar hoe laat het is. Obviously, I've put the English sentence right below there, but kind of helping you what each of these words mean. Again, the hoe laat is our expression of saying what time. So what time? Hoe laat? How late? Is kind of the similar expression as this one. So what I'll do is I'll play the audio. And then you've got 10 plaatjes. And you kind of need to put them in the right order. So this is kind of recognizing, and you might know the words, you might not know the words, kind of recognizing where the story follows and if you can figure out what the right order is. So let's have a try with this one. It should be coming on right now.
Het is 6 uur. Lisa slaapt nog. Het is 6:15. De wekker gaat. Lisa strekt zich uit en staat op uit bed. Lisa gaat naar de badkamer en maakt zich klaar voor de dag. Om 7 uur neemt ze een douche en daarna doet ze haar make-up. Om 7:30 eet Lisa ontbijt. Ze eet graag een boterham met kaas en 1 banaan. Ze drinkt ook een kopje groene thee. Om 7:15 vertrekt Lisa van huis. Ze gaat naar haar werk met de fiets. De rit duurt 20 minuten. Lisa is lerares en ze werkt op een basisschool. Ze geeft les tot 3 uur. Daarna maakt ze de lessen voor de volgende dag. Om 5 uur heeft Lisa tennisles. Ze spreekt af met een vriendin. Om 6:15 doet Lisa boodschappen voor het avondeten. Ze maakt kip met rijst en groenten. Het eten is 1 uur later klaar. Ze kijkt nog wat televisie en poetst haar tanden om 10 uur. Ze leest nog even een boek en doet het licht uit om 10:30.
That's it. Dat was het. Ik ga het nog een keer spelen. Dan kan jij luisteren en checken of jij het goed hebt. Komt hier nog een keertje.
Het is 6 uur. Lisa slaapt nog. Het is 6:15. De wekker gaat. Lisa strekt zich uit en staat op uit bed. Lisa gaat naar de badkamer en maakt zich klaar voor de dag. Om 7 uur neemt ze een douche en daarna doet ze haar make-up. Om 7:30 eet Lisa ontbijt. Ze eet graag een boterham met kaas en 1 banaan. Ze drinkt ook een kopje groene thee. Om 7:15 vertrekt Lisa van huis. Ze gaat naar haar werk met de fiets. De rit duurt 20 minuten. Lisa is lerares en ze werkt op een basisschool. Ze geeft les tot 3 uur. Daarna maakt ze de lessen voor de volgende dag. Om 5 uur heeft Lisa tennisles. Ze spreekt af met een vriendin. Om 6:15 doet Lisa boodschappen voor het avondeten. Ze maakt kip met rijst en groenten. Het eten is 1 uur later klaar. Ze kijkt nog wat televisie en poetst haar tanden om 10 uur. Ze leest nog even een boek en doet het licht uit om 10:30.
So this audio really is going on about what she does in her day. And you might think, oh my goodness, I don't even know half of what she said. That's okay. So in this audio, it's really focused on emphasizing certain words, recognizing certain words, maybe recognizing numbers and things like that. So within that, we are able to recognize some of the words or that might be familiar to you to English. So it's not about understanding each and every word, but it is about understanding the context, maybe some words. And as you go along in your improvement in Dutch, or even as you learn and replay this audio more often, you will understand it better as well. Now, the audio is in the portal as well, so you can listen to it on your own and replay it as many times as you need, and the script will be in here as well. Now, in regards to these pictures, I'm just going to go and ask you what each of the numbers is. You can pause it if you need some more time. And I'd also like you to tell me whether you've written down the time, if you can say that, and the activity as well. So see if you're able to say all of that. So nummer 1 is deze. Dit is een wekker. Ze staat op om 6:15. Ze staat op om 6:15. Wat is nummer 2? Nummer 2 is het ontbijt. So after she wakes up, she neemt een douche and maakt zich klaar. However, that is not mentioned in these pictures. So we gaan straight naar het ontbijt. En ze eet een boterham met kaas en een kop thee. So she eats a sandwich, a slice of bread with cheese and a cup of tea. En hoe laat? Ze eet ontbijt om 7:30. Wat is nummer 3? Dat is deze. Dit is een fiets. En Lisa fietst waar? Lisa fietst naar haar werk om 7:15. Ze fietst naar haar werk om 7:15. Nummer 4 is Lisa is op school. Okay, Lisa is op school. Lisa is lerares. So she is at school, op school, and she is a teacher. Lerares, S, is how we can recognize that it's a female teacher. So lerares is a female teacher. Ik ben een lerares. En een leraar, leraar is a male teacher. Okay? So Lisa gives les tot, what time? Tot 3 uur. En daarna bereidt ze haar lessen voor. So it kind of means that they're prepping their lessons for the day after. En na haar lessen, wat doet ze? Ze speelt tennis. 5 is Lisa speelt, plays, tennis. Om 5 uur. Om 5 uur heeft Lisa tennisles. Nummer 6 is boodschappen doen. So they said om 6:15 doet does Lisa boodschappen? Boodschappen are groceries. Okay. 7 is then dinner. Het avondeten. Avond is evening. Eten is food. So evening dinner, evening food is our word for dinner. There is a similar word for dinner, by the way, which is dîner. So spelled the same with like diner, basically. But dîner comes from French and it's kind of a fancier word. So we use it as a fancy word. Let's see. So they did say ze eet kip met groente en rijst. Ze maakt kip met rijst en groente. 8. That's it. Het eten is 1 uur later klaar. So she eats 1 hour later, or it's finished an hour later and then she eats it. Dan kijkt ze televisie. Televisie is television. Just like we can say TV, you can say TV. Lisa kijkt televisie. 9 is brushing your teeth. So, tanden poetsen. Lisa poetst haar tanden om 10 uur. That's the time. And the last is obviously this one where they said, ze leest een boek. Ze leest een boek en slaapt om 10:30. So she reads a book and she goes to sleep at 10:30. So that's the exercise. Transcript is in the slides as well, so you can have a look at that to figure out sentence structure, and that will be a really good activity. See how the sentence structure works here and work along with that. There will be some exercises with this also. All right, we're going into our speaking section. I'm going to ask you these questions, and then I want you to try to make your own sentence. Obviously, there's different answers possible, so I'll just give you a example sentence, and you can check at least the order if you've done that all right. Or you can put it in the group as well, or discuss it in the live sessions too. Okay, let's try this one. So, first question. Wat doe jij in de ochtend? Ochtend is morning, right? So, wat doe jij in de ochtend? Ochtend. Remember, the CH is the same sound as the G. Wat doe jij in de ochtend? Now, remember, I do want you to start with this bit, so watch your sentence structure and pause this video to write down your sentence. You may know all the words, write them down. And if you don't, try and translate each of the words, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so for example, I could say, in the morning, I eat bread with a cup of tea. If you followed along with the exercise, you could make and know these words. So we start with in de ochtend. What comes next in the Dutch sentence structure? And how do we say I eat? So I is ik, and eat is ate. So basically, sound-wise, the past tense of eat, ate. Now, In the morning, I eat. In de ochtend, ik eet. If we put this into different sections, we get this so far, right? In de ochtend is our time. Ik is our subject, and eet is the verb. Now, in what position does the verb go? It always goes in the second position, de tweede positie. Dat betekent dat we don't say ik eet, maar eet ik. Very, very important. So it's an inversion. Niet ik eet, maar eet ik. As you develop your own sentences more and more and more, you'll see that this is a bit of a pattern that slowly gets better. You'll notice because you're literally translating your sentence and trying to speak at the same time, you will say for a little while, in de ochtend, ik eet. And then it's really important to pause yourself, like you're building this new habit, you're getting into the new structure of this other language. And so we have to inverse it. In de ochtend eet ik brood met een kap is kopje. We don't translate the of in this case, and we just say tea, which is thee. And that, my ladies and gentlemen, is our sentence. In de ochtend eet ik brood met een kopje thee. Now, I'd like you to pause the video again and do the same question, do the same answer with the question, wat doe jij in de middag? So in the afternoon, I work really hard to put some extra effort into a sentence like just saying I work. So in de middag, again, we do the same thing. So work is werk, and then I is ik. Really hard. Hard is actually the same. Really is the same as very, and comparable with a whole, like you're doing a whole lot. And that would be heel. Heel hard. In de middag werk ik heel hard. En dan hebben we de avond. Wat doe jij in de avond? So I could say, in the evening, I make dinner. You know, reuse of these words, very important as well, the repetition of this. So in de avond, again, verb straight away. So try and say, if you can say make, but with the Dutch pronunciation. Maken. Maak is what we use for ik. Maak ik. And then we could say either diner or avond eten. So evening food. This is a one word. So it's not evening space food. It's evening food as one word. Usually, if you have two nouns, so de avond, de, or het eten, de avond and het eten. If you can say them as if it's not really a problem to pronounce it in one word, you write it in one word. Cool. So these are example sentences. You can put your sentences in the group as well, and we can work with each other on them as well. So the next section of sentences are these ones. So this is about practicing your time. I'll just give you the answer, an example answer to these ones, right? So hoe laat eet jij ontbijt? Which means, at what time do you eat breakfast? So the way to, how I remember the word breakfast, ontbijt, is it's the first bite bite of the day. Okay, so in English, you break your fast. In Dutch, we think about, hey, it's the first bite of the day. Cool. So, hoe laat eet jij ontbijt? Ik eet ontbijt om, so at, for example, I don't know, 10 uur, at 10 o'clock. Or I could say 6:15. You're an early bird. I could say om 7:30. So 7:30. Right? So multiple answers possible. Depending on what you've had. So again, pause it if you need to write down your own answer. You cannot do it and just hear what I'm saying, but that kind of skips the step of you trying it and therefore putting it in your system on your own, because I know how to speak Dutch and that's why you are here. Next question. Hoe laat ben jij klaar met werk? Any idea what that could be? So we know this, how late or at what time are you with work? We don't know klaar maybe. What could that be? Klaar is either ready or finished. Okay, so I'm finished at 5 o'clock. How would you say that? I'm finished at 5 o'clock. You have the prompt of ik ben, so it's niet ik ben klaar. It's not I am finished, ik ben klaar. So the klaar has to go at this other position. Om cues the time, so that's kind of cueing you the order of the sentence here. So ik ben om 5 uur klaar. So that being finished is kind of belonging together. So we put that in the pot of verbs. And so the klaar, even though on its own not a verb, will still go last. Also, om 5 uur is considered time, and we do find that important. Hoe ga jij naar bed? So maybe you want to translate, I go to bed at 9:30. Hoe zeg je dat? Ik ga om 9:30, not 9, 9:30 naar bed. Again, time first, also cued by om, and naar bed last because it's the location. All right, heel goed. Last section of this class. Now I've given you the prompts here and I want you to translate them on your own. This might involve a new word or whatever, but this is the example sentence. So, wat doe jij om 8 uur? Wat doe jij om 8 uur? Now, you could use do, or you could make it direct and say, I read a book at 8 a.m. So you could try my sentence or try your own. So you could say, I read a book at 8 a.m. You might want to then say, or 8 p.m. doesn't really matter. It's context based to figure out whether the 8 uur is a.m. or p.m. So we could say, if we translate this from English, I read, ik lees, a book, een book, and then at 8 p.m. om 8 uur. Is this correct according to the Dutch sentence structure? It is not totally wrong, but grammatically correct would be putting the time first. Ik lees om 8 uur een boek. What's the difference? Why is this both correct? This kind of emphasizes I really did it at 8 a.m. or p.m. And this emphasizes that you were reading a book and not like a newspaper or a magazine or your email or whatever, right? So this is where Dutchies can flop them around and emphasize the book. So this is not wrong. However, if you do at a location, let's say in the living room, then it does have to go after the time. You can't say, ik lees in de woonkamer een boek om 8 uur. That can't be wrong. So there's a time and a place for everything. Place always goes after time. Very, very important. Very good. Okay, so wanneer eet jij lunch? When do you eat lunch? You should be able to do this very easily now. Ik eet lunch at would be om. And then we would say, for example, 1 uur. Again, you could say, ik eet om 1 uur lunch. Perfectly fine. Again, the matter of the emphasis. Sta jij op? Staan op is to stand up, but for us, it's also the equivalent of getting up out of bed. So if we were to translate this directly, we would say, ik sta op at om 7 o'clock. 7 uur. Okay, just as we've done that with klaar, like I'm finished at 5 o'clock, we actually want to put the op at the end. Ik sta om 7 uur op. So it's, if you say I get at 7 a.m., it doesn't mean anything. You need that up to illustrate you're getting up out of bed. Yeah. So this means that the up is again collided with the getting, the verb. So in this case, it's wanting to be a verb, and because sta is your main verb with ik, op is your second verb and goes last. So that's it. Okay, so these are the example sentences and kind of small conversations that you get to do with me. We'll practice some more in the conversation classes. And you can do the exercises in the portal as well to practice more. So this is today's lesson. There's one more lesson. There's 2 more lessons for you to do and practice for this week. Good luck, veel succes en tot de volgende video. Doei!